Not to get political, but Biden's up for re-election in 2024, and not everyone's thrilled about the guy in the Oval Office. Rock stars to Oscar winners, these celebs won't be pulling the lever for America's 46th president. As a longtime supporter of Donald Trump, rapper Kid Rock has made no secret of his aversion to Joe Biden. That was evident in his 2022 single We the People, with its sing-along chorus of Let's Go Brandon, a phrase that became Trump supporters' variation on Joe Biden.
Go Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
We the People took aim at the Biden administration's COVID policy, targeting Dr. Anthony Fauci, then President Biden's chief medical advisor. Lyrics pointed to mask mandates and medication, leading to the downfall of an entire generation. Meanwhile, other lyrics compared the media's negative reporting of Trump's response to the pandemic while he was president to that of Biden's favorable depiction of similar actions. In 2022, as Billboard reported, the song hit #1 on its digital song sales, rock digital song sales, and hard rock digital song sales charts. Country singer Lee Greenwood's patriotic anthem God Bless the USA has been his most enduring single. The longtime Republican has been a staunch supporter of Trump and performed the song at his presidential inauguration ceremony in 2017. The appearance marked the fourth time he sang the song at the inauguration of a Republican president. In 2008, then-President George W. Bush appointed Greenwood to the National Endowment for the Arts National Council on the Arts. He remained a member until 2021 when President Biden replaced him with Camila Forbes. Greenwood appeared on Fox News to talk about his ousting by email, adding,
"So here we now under the Biden administration, and he's cleaned house. And finally, he's fired the Patriot. And I was quite shocked, to tell you the truth."
In 2024, Greenwood was hit with backlash when he partnered with Trump to shill his God Bless the USA Bibles, which also featured the text of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the lyrics to Greenwood's song, all for the retail price of $60. Interviewed by Newsmax, Greenwood insisted that pushback was coming from Biden supporters, noting,
"Oh, I think it's just from the Trump haters."
With a distinguished Hollywood career spanning multiple decades, Jon Voight was renowned for films like Midnight Cowboy and the TV series Ray Donovan. He's also actor Angelina Jolie's father, but more recently he became better known for his political affiliation after tweeting a slew of videos supporting Trump, including one declaring him to be, quote, the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. Voight's videos earned him a tweet of recognition from Trump himself, lauding the actor for both his best-known film roles and his support, with the line, also loves the USA. In 2022, Voight tweeted a video decrying the unsafe state of America, laying the blame at the feet of President Biden.
Don't let this President Biden tear down every inch that was sacrificed with blood, sweat, and tears for his dictation of lies.
Voight also had some choice words about Biden after Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts in his so-called hush money trial. Claiming that more people must be held to account, he said,
"We're allowing this sick President Biden to give permission for all to steal, cheat, lie, kill."
There was a time when former sitcom star Scott Baio was best known for playing Chachi in Happy Days and Charles in Charles in Charge. In recent years, though, he's emerged as a vocal critic of Biden. While on the campaign trail in 2019, Biden gave a speech in which he took a shot at Trump's campaign catchphrase.
He says, let's make America great again. Let's make America America again.
Fox News criticized Biden, claiming that he ripped off that line from Michael Avenatti, who once served as a lawyer for porn star Stormy Daniels. Baio, however, claimed that Biden stole the phrase from him. When Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., tweeted Fox News' claim, Baio responded by insisting he had already used the phrase in a speech he gave at the 2016 Republican National Convention. He tweeted himself uttering those very words in his speech, adding, Joe Biden is a plagiarizing fraud.
Well, let's make America again.
Baio also expressed his disdain for Biden when he refused to appear with several of his Happy Days co-stars in a reunion event to raise money for Biden's presidential bid. He told Fox Business,
"I'm not on board, obviously, because I don't believe in socialism and Marxism."
Back in the 1970s, Ted Nugent was best known for his fiery guitar riffs, but lately the right-wing rocker has become synonymous with his political stance. A vociferous supporter of Trump, he's had some pretty incendiary things to say about our 46th president. Comparing Biden to Hitler, Stalin, and other notorious dictators, he said on his Nightly News YouTube series in 2022,
"There is an evil force controlling this mindless, soulless zombie named Joe Biden."
It was an elaboration on comments he had made the previous this year on the Wild Initiative podcast. He said previously, if you are on the side of Joe Biden, you're just plain a rotten human being. Nugent had more to say about Biden in 2022 when he confirmed his new song, Come and Take It, was about the Second Amendment, and that he sent a copy to the White House, as he told Smashing Interviews. Of course it is, because a political middle finger is way overdue, and a political middle finger has always been the impetus for the destruction of evil forces, corruption, and criminality, Joe Biden. In 2023, a jury found Trump to be liable for sexually abusing writer E. Jean Carroll after a civil trial accusing him of defaming her. Comedian Roseanne Barr, best known for her groundbreaking TV sitcom Roseanne, thought that would be the perfect starting point for a sketch she filmed in New York City department store Bergdorf Goodman, where Carroll alleged she was assaulted by Trump. In the video that Barr shared on X, formerly Twitter, she feigned experiencing a flashback, joking,
26 years ago, Joe Biden raped me right here in that dressing room.
Asked by her son if she was all right, she declared,
I'm not, I need to sue.
Barr was immediately hit with backlash, with X users rushing to the defense of victims of sexual assault. Seeming to align with Trump's claims of his own innocence, Barr responded by noting that she would never mock the victim of sexual assault, adding, I was talking about E. Jean Carroll. Once known for starring alongside future Desperate Housewives star Terry Hatcher in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, Dean Cain reinvented himself as a conservative pundit, appearing more frequently on right-wing news outlets than in scripted TV series. He has also thrown insults at Biden on social media, calling him an idiot in one tweet, alleging he was, quote, full of in another, and then tweeting to Biden, you're running America into the ground. Cain also addressed Biden's age during an appearance on British outlet GB News when he was asked whether he felt Biden was fit to be America's president. Explaining that he viewed Biden as a puppet who was controlled by others behind the scenes, he said,
he has flashes of lucidity and of that nature, but I think everybody knows he's old and he's senile.
One of TV's hottest hunks of the 70s for playing Bo Duke in the Dukes of Hazzard, Jon Schneider eventually became known as a staunch conservative. Appearing on Fox Business in 2021, he revealed that he cut ties with mainstream Hollywood in the mid-2000s to create his own projects, which eschewed what he called Hollywood's liberalism. But in late 2023, Schneider caught the eye of the Secret Service when he replied to one of Biden's tweets with the since-deleted message, My President, I believe you are guilty of treason and should be publicly hanged. The Secret Service opened an investigation with a rep telling Deadline, we look at all threats against our protectees, and due to intent, this falls under the definition of a threat. Schneider then issued a statement insisting that his tweet had been misinterpreted, telling Deadline, I neither said nor implied any such thing. I absolutely did not call for an act of violence or threaten a U.S. president. Kevin Sorbo once starred in Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. These days, Sorbo has taken on the role of right-wing culture warrior. He once criticized Joe Biden for not mentioning Jesus in his address during the national Christmas tree lighting, telling Newsmax,
we're past hiding any of the hypocrisy that this president and his staff have to say.
Sorbo also scuffled with Chrissy Teigen over remarks he tweeted about Biden. In the days leading up to the 2020 presidential election, Sorbo expressed his skepticism that Biden was leading in the polls based on the flags he saw promoting Trump. He posted, I never see people driving around with Biden flags. Someone want to explain how this guy who couldn't fill a high school auditorium is leading currently? Teigen, who has since shuttered her X account, clapped back, because we know how stupid it looks, LMAO. More recently, Sorbo blamed Biden for the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the Israel-Palestine conflict, tweeting, a vote for Biden is a vote for war. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine. If you vote for Biden, you're supporting all of it. Over the past 2 decades or so, Randy Quaid has transformed from respected Hollywood actor to a staunch critic of Joe Biden. He got particularly riled up by comments that Biden made in 2021, describing the decision of Texas and Mississippi to fully reopen in the midst of the pandemic as Neanderthal thinking. Quaid responded with a tongue-in-cheek tweet, writing, as a native Texan, I'm appalled our president has called me a Neanderthal. 23andMe has verified that I have no Neanderthal ancestry gene in my genetic code. This is not to say Neanderthal lives don't matter, just saying a lot of us Texans have grounds for a class action suit. Interestingly, Quaid's brother, fellow actor Dennis Quaid, is also no fan of Biden. During a 2024 appearance on Piers Morgan Tonight, he revealed that Trump had his vote in the upcoming presidential election. He pointed to his perception that Biden wasn't actually running his own administration, adding,
I feel that he says things to get votes, not that he truly believes them.
Jim Caviezel came to fame playing the title role in Mel Gibson's blockbuster The Passion of the Christ, before making his mark in TV on several seasons of Person of Interest. In 2023, he starred in the indie feature Sound of Freedom, which focused on combating global child sex trafficking. Caviezel appeared on Fox and Friends to declare,
"We got to start with Donald Trump."
What do you mean?
Well, he's got to be in there because he's going to go after the traffickers.
He's an open advocate against the sexualization of children in any capacity, a stance that could have influenced comments he made on The Benny Show about a video in which Joe Biden pretended to nibble a young child's shoulder.
If Joe Biden did that to your child, Jim, what would you do?
The Secret Service would have tackled me because I'd have popped him.
Kristy Swanson shot to fame starring in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but had the misfortune of playing the titular Slayer in the flop feature film that preceded the beloved TV series version. But Swanson has recently gained a different level of celebrity for speaking out against Joe Biden. That viewpoint crystallized in a 2021 tweet reading, "Somebody needs to tell Joe Biden that as President of the United States of America, it is his patriotic duty to speak the truth." The following year, she issued a tweet that equated support at the ballot box to flags and signage, writing, "They claim 81 million votes for Biden, and there still isn't one yard sign, flag, bumper sticker, t-shirt, or hat anywhere to be found across this entire country." Swanson also mentioned Biden when she claimed the COVID vaccine wasn't safe, sharing her skepticism that Biden had actually been vaccinated. She wrote, "If Joe Biden has a history of heart arrhythmias and brain aneurysms, why would he and his doctors have ever risked him getting vaxxed and boosted, aka the clot shot?"